Well, guys, we're coming at you here. This is going to be a very quick little video. If you've read the title, this is breaking news. This just happened today, actually this morning on New Year's Day. And so we'll just get right into this and get into this story. This one truly is tragic, and it is in regards to something that was done by a very clearly sick individual. And so today, January 1st, 2025, city of New Orleans has experienced an unimaginable terror during what should have been a celebration of the new year at approximately 3:15 a.m. Central Standard Time on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, French Quarters. You know, this place is famous for its atmosphere, and obviously clearly had, all the crowds there, vibrant activity going on. This became the scene of a horrifying attack that claimed, as of right now at this moment, this time recording, the lives of 15 people, and has injured more than 30 plus individuals. The attacker at this moment has been reported to be none other than 42-year-old Samshud Din Jabbar. He used a pickup truck as his weapon, which was rented, driving into densely packed crowds of revelers. Eyewitnesses' accounts have described the scene as chaotic, with people scrambling for safety amidst the sound of the truck barreling through people and objects. This calculated attack has left, as we said in the beginning, many dead and dozens injured, turning what should have been a celebration into a night of horror for some individuals. And before I go any further, I just wanted to start by saying, as we get into this, my heart goes out to all the individuals who are affected by this, and it is shameful that there are sick individuals who are wicked and seek to take these moments of community and celebration and turn them into nightmares that these families will have to live with. And so my heart goes out to anybody who is affected by this and to anyone who lost their loved ones. Truly, sincerely wanted to extend our condolences here to you guys. Continuing on, the horror didn't end there. After the initial attack, Jabbar exited his vehicle and opened fire, engaging in a shootout with the police officers on scene that were in response. The confrontation ultimately ended in the death of Jabbar. Although he did, two officers did sustain injuries in the conflict. The investigators have quickly been very quick to declare this a terrorist attack after discovering there was an ISIS flag inside of the suspect's vehicle. A little bit about Samshud Din Jabbar's background has raised significant concerns, as he was a U.S. Army veteran, and he has disgraced that status as a veteran. And he was a U.S. Army veteran from Texas with a criminal record and a history of violence. And the particularly alarming part that is in connection with the ISIS flag was what people have claimed to be his recent conversion to Islam. And authorities believe that this could have been a factor for this radicalization. While his exact ties to ISIS are still under investigation, they're looking into it, trying to figure out exactly what that might have looked like. The discovery of this flag, and with also taking in mind his conversion to Islam, there has been some suggestion of a connection there to a terrorist organization. Now, the interesting part about all of this event going on with Jabbar and with what happened in the French Quarters of Orleans is that this may not be an isolated incident, as just hours after that incident took place, there was attack outside of a Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. So a Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Authorities are exploring whether or not the two attacks are linked, as both vehicles were reportedly rented from the same car-sharing platform. The possibility of a coordinated effort has heightened the urgency of the investigation and security measures, with the FBI and other agencies working around the clock to piece everything together. What makes everything about this even more chilling is obviously the timing of the New Year celebration. We can see here that clearly a message is trying to be sent here with it happening on New Year's Day, everything happening with it being a celebration here in America. So, instead of it being a time of joy, unity, and celebration of what's to come in the new year, instead it has left the city and the nation and many families grieving and questioning how such an act could happen. So this is obviously a stark reminder of the methods of terrorism, how they are ruthless, they are wicked, they're evil, they don't make sense, and they're illogical at many points in times. And using vehicles as weapon is something that we've seen is a common tactic in terrorism with bombs and what we've seen in high populated areas and cities. And so, definitely we need to evaluate and assess some security measures with everything taking place with these vehicles and in these highly populated areas. In the aftermath of all this, President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump have both issued statements condemning the attack. Obviously, their political differences are very well documented. We know they do not agree on many things. However, this has been an opportunity for a bit of unity in the shared call for justice and higher security when it comes to these incidents. So both leaders have pledged the resources to aid in the investigation and ensure the safety of all American citizens. And obviously, New Orleans is going to be impacted by this, and the nation as a whole will be impacted by this, as they are in mourning and as the people there involved and the families affected will be in mourning. Another byproduct of this is that an event that was taking place in New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl, one of the biggest college football events of the year, was also postponed in light of the tragedy and the heightened security measures that have been implemented citywide. Law enforcement is using every tool at its disposal, including surveillance footage, bomb-sniffing dogs, to ensure that the area is safe and to gather evidence. That's pretty much all the information we have at the time being. And so if more information comes out, we will report on it as it comes out and as it reveals itself. But as we reflect on this tragedy, as we reflect on it, obviously we must look ahead at the new year with Donald Trump taking office, with everything happening with Israel, Hamas, and clearly Iran is not happy that Donald Trump is going to be in office. Clearly, there is a sign of pushback coming from that terror network. And so we need to confront this threat of domestic terrorism, and the fact that our border has been wide open, the fact that people from these terror organizations have been allowed to just funnel their way in and root themselves within our system. Clearly, there are things here in America that need to be uprooted and changes that need to be made. So, some questions that we need to confront is, how do we address the threat of domestic terrorism? How do we address the root cause of radicalization and ensure the communities, local communities, are safe? Obviously, these questions are thoughtful. We need to have decisive action on this because no more Americans should ever have to feel afraid to celebrate the new year or any holiday for that matter. So we'll end with this. Our hearts go out to the victims, and our prayers are with the families and the people of New Orleans. This attack was clearly an assault on not only innocent lives, but the spirit of unity that comes with the New Year celebration. And let's not let this define this time of year and what the future has for us as a nation. And at the end of the day, this is a very stark reminder that evil does exist. And it is our job to be strong and resilient in the face of evil and to confront it and admit that it is there and present. So at Principled Politics, we'll continue to follow all this closely and bring you updates as they emerge. So let's stand together, pray for peace, and commit to building a safer and stronger future for all Americans. Thank you.